Howdy folks, Little John, and tasting day, and 2 bottles there, so it's a double tasting, and that's because we're doing the tasting on this fella, the Muntons handcrafted American style IPA, their craft brewing kit. Now, I'm not normally a kit brewer, but I've been doing a few lately, partially in response to some different things, but I don't know how much you can hear the rain in the background. It's coming and going a bit outside, which is really great to see. We desperately needed some bloody rain. It's been teasing us all weekend, and it's finally coming down. Looks like it might even be settling in a little bit, so they were hinting we might get half an inch to an inch, so hopefully we do. We'll see. Anyway, so the Muntons IPA kit. What initially drove me to doing this was a post that came up on Facebook where someone had brewed one and they were drinking it, and that basically was saying it was just like a bench broke brewing crankshaft. Now, me being a bit of the wise ass that I am, sort of commented I found it pretty hard to believe that he'd made something similar to what is consistently rated one of the best craft beers in the country from a kit. And when I quizzed this person about it, a particular brewer, elaborated that they just did the kit as it was, which made it even harder to believe. But not being one to just believe shit that I see, or necessarily believe what I think is going to be right, I bought one. Well, okay, let's make one and see how we go. So, go back to the video if you haven't seen the video. I'll put up the top. But quickly, for those who don't want to go back and have a look at it, I've done the batch and I split it in half. So basically, I made the batch up to 21 litres, which is as per the instructions, and then split halfway. The first batch I split off 12 litres, so a little more than half, which I've made as per the recipe. Now, that being said, I did use all the hops that are in the kit in the recipe, so because it to me was going to be a bit light on regardless. So that's what I've done. So 12 litres as it is, and it just mixes up. It's two cans. You don't add anything to it. So I got 10 grams of summit added to the fermenter at pitch and yeast, and 20 grams was done dry on day 5. Now there's 30 grams all up, and that was meant to be a dry hop, one addition. Being that I split the batch down, I split it a little bit. Original gravity was 1052, so it's come down to bottled at 1014. So it finished up 5.4% in the bottle. Now I'm pretty sure that was pretty much around what they said on here, where they would expect it to come in at. Well, actually, approximate ABV 5.5%, so it was pretty well spot on. You see there, that's carved pretty well. Only used 2/3 of a carb drop, so that's what's going on there. The other half's not quite as good, so that looks a bit more better. Yeah, we'll go with that. Take my none of my relatives of the school teachers are watching. Anyway, so the second half I split off. I took 9 litres Then done a small boil. I did a 3 litre boil of 500 grams of light dry malt and 200 grams of Dex. I was trying to lighten the base a little bit whilst keeping the alcohol content, bringing it up a little bit. You see colour wise, it's pretty much the same. And then I've then run with gone with the hops that Bent Spoke use in their sprocket, which they call a summer IPA. Now the grain bills clearly doesn't come out where that was, but that meant I've done a 80-minute boil box. I cooled that 3 litre boil to 80 degrees, added 3 grams each of Citra, Cascade, Simcoe and CTZ. Left that for 15 minutes, then pulled the bag of hops out, added the whole lot to the fermenter for an original gravity of 1060. Then on day 4 I added 30 grams of Amarillo, and on day 7 40 grams of Mosaic, which then sat for 4 days from there, I think. Which, both were 4 days each, so the Amarillo came out at day 8 and the Mosaic went for 4 days, so day 11 it came out. And it's finished at 10:14 as well. Yeast wise, on the first batch I used the kit yeast. I used the whole lot. And on the second batch I used, I haven't even written it. I'm trying to find it. I don't think I've actually written down what yeast I used on it. Oh, here we go. I haven't written it down. We'll be back on the video. I'm pretty sure that was USO5. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but so it was interesting. They both finished at the same point, considering there was a 8-point difference in the original gravity. So that was an interesting thing. So first half batch come out at, I said, 5.4%. The sprocket side come out at 6.5. Now let's get into this fella. Get a bit of that froth off. I like the froth. Now I did crack one of each of these about a week ago, just to make sure to see how they were travelling carb wise, and they were alright. So I've got a little bit of prior knowledge. Now there's a reasonable nose on that fella, on the first fella, on the original kit. It's almost a bubblegum sort of a smell. It's the closest thing I can come to. It's really, it's not really it doesn't really do anything. It's quite malty, and if anything, it's more. It tastes more like, I've got the feel of a English IPA. It's quite malty. It's a little sweet. Now, when I tried the first bottle, it was even sweeter than this. So it may settle a little bit of time. That may come out a little bit, and it may lighten up. But it's quite heavy on the mouth and really big around the edges. It's not fresh. And there's really nothing from the hops. Now, I've never used summit hops before, so I don't know whether that bubblegum aroma is part of what you get from the summit, whether that's sort of normal or whether it's a yeast thing. I'm not sure. Most of these brews sat on the bench and were brewed at ambient, and they probably sat around 20 to 22 degrees. So it was on the upper end of the scale, but certainly not anything overly high for the style. Certainly not uncommon to push 20 to 21, brewing an IPA in 22. Not uncommon at all. But yeah, that's just ordinary. It really is. It's got nothing great going on. As for someone, saying that's compared to a crankshaft, I've got one in the fridge. I did buy one. I had intended to drink the crankshaft next to this, but I don't need to crack the can of crankshaft to know that don't taste like a crankshaft. I may let these sit another month. It is a kit. They've only been sitting now for seventh and the 10th, 3 weeks. So another 3 or 4 weeks might help a hell of a lot. We might do a comparison there, but that's got nothing really great going on. Let's go to the second version. As I said, so this has got Whirlpool hops. It's got 2 lots of dry hopping, extra alcohol, holding a really nice firm head. It's clearish, without being certainly not crystal, but it is clearish. So I'm not going to shove there too much, but again, it's quite a deep colour for an IPA. I mean, just as an example, that's the colour they're showing on the box. Definitely not that colour in the glass. So, well and truly in date, January 2021. It's not for this old. Anyway. And there's a bit more fruit on the nose with that. Funnily, it's still got that little bit of that bubble gum, so it would appear to be in the kit, but there is more fruit. There is other notes there. Okay. That's much different, but still very similar. And of course, the base is the same. The body is lighter just from that extra bit of a boil, the decks and the dry malt to sort of lighten up that kit base. It's definitely worked. It's much lighter on the mouth and fresher. There's still that sweetness there though. It's not as strong. That boil has certainly helped that, but it is still definitely there. As I said, it's not working. It's not. Doesn't come across as a kit twang, but it's definitely a kit something. As I said, the bubblegum nose is there on both, not as big, you know, where it's had some play around and it's been cut back, but it's still there. It's just that underlying sweetness. There's a much nicer hop presence there as well. Now, it wasn't a massive amount of hopping in this. It's enough, but it's working. That's what I was trying to use this as sort of an experiment, working with that hop combination for the sprockets. You know, I've been wanting to have a go at something similar, so this is a good way of trying those hops without going into a full beer. And I think, given where that is, the hops in there are working really well. So I think if you were to take the sweetness of the underlying kit out of this and stick that into a, you know, a nice all grain with a lighter body and a lighter base, I think it'll work really well. I said nothing is individually sort of jumping out. And the nose isn't massive for the amount of dry hop, but it's also not a huge amount of dry hop either. But I think that malty underlying taste is just dragging it all down. Yeah, and look, that sweetness in that is just becoming really difficult to drink. It's not quite clean, but it's just way too sweet. And I said, you can't really put it down to being a yeast issue. Use the kit yeast, which I think I remember looking at was thinking was probably BRY 97. It certainly wasn't USA 5. I think it was a different colour. So I don't think that's the problem. It's definitely that underlying kit is just far too malty. You know, it was made of 21 litres, and that's where that is sitting. That was cut back a little bit. So it certainly does argue that if you were to make this to, say, 24 litres, yeah, and add a little bit of dextrose, that it may drag it down a little bit into a better place, because this, like I said, this second version is definitely lighter. But yeah, no, it's just far too sweet, and look, it's had some degs. It's had a good whack of hopping added to it. Yeah. Whirlpool. Dry hops. Yeah, two lots of dry hops. Good yeast. And it's still, yeah, really barely drinkable. I can't in any way recommend this. Cannot recommend that in any way. As I said, the only thing I could sort of look at would be to cut the strength down, really stretch it out an extra couple of litres to pull it back, because that is doing something. But for me, I'd be looking for a different way. As I said, I'll be letting this. Yeah, we will. Yeah. As I said, I'm going to let these. I want to let this run anyway. I'm going to let these sit for 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks anyway. I don't know exactly when. I've got getting pretty busy this time of the year, but I will let these sit and come back and have another look and see what a month does. As I say, I believe that kit beers need 6 weeks at least really to heat their best. So who knows what it will mean. At this point, I don't see it's going to make too much. I really don't see it's going to improve too much. But if anyone who makes kit beers know that it can make 2 weeks can make a big difference to the quality of a brew. So that's what it'll do. So as always, if you've got any questions, any comments, stick them down the bottom. If you like what we're doing here at Little John's, brewing, tasting, comparison and whatnot, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Think about hitting Patreon and giving a little bit of support. Links are down at the bottom. I said if you just got basic comments, stick them down the bottom. I'll answer any comments. But that's my list at the moment. At the moment, like I said, that kit failure from my point of view. That's it. We'll revisit in another 3, 4, 5 weeks time and see if it improves any. So till I look at you again, we're brewing beer, talking beer or drinking beer, good brewing.